Hello and welcome to episode 40 of Fallen Dragons. Um, my name's Mike. I'll be your DM for the night. And I'm here with two of my players. And I will let them tell you who they are and what they do. I'll start to my right, which is LaFall.
Hello, I'm LaFall. I play a half dragon, fighter champion.
And then we'll go below LaFall to Robin.
Hi, I'm Robin. I'm playing Kenna Hanvey. She is a tiefling and she's a multi-classed bard and fighter.
When we left the entire party last week, or a week before last, two people from Kenna's past had appeared in the tavern that you guys are in. They appeared in a rather unpleasant way, at least for the bartender anyway, who's once again unconscious on the floor behind the bar. This is getting too much of a habit for him. And currently, LaFall and Kenna are standing there at the table that everybody was sitting at. And Jillian and Alicia are standing next to the bar. And so what do you... The rest of your group is just sort of sitting there going, who are these people? And what's going on? Except for Jinx. He never made it back from escorting you to your handler's house. He's still out wandering around in the darkness somewhere.
And you think a bat would have better, night vision or something.
Yeah. Even though he had echolocation, he still found a way to get himself lost. But and so, what are the two of you wanting to do?
Well, I think I'm going to sit back a moment because this seems to be a little bit of a personal problem. And I'm going to watch to see what's going on.
Okay. So what's Kenna's reaction to all this?
Well, I guess in that case, I'm just going to ask them, Jillian and Alicia, point blank, what they're doing here and what they want.
Well, uh, we have been hired by the Kingdom of Nikos because they got wind of the fact that uh, Caltrinell was after, shall we say, a not very pleasant object. And since politically Caltrinell and Nikos are diametrically opposed to each other, they sent us here to intercept the object and take care of any, shall we say, people poking their nose into things they don't need to be poking their nose in.
Well,
And
first
what
of
is this
all,
object you might be speaking of?
it might be.
Ask Kenna. Kenna knows.
What is this object that you all are speaking of?
Well, I think you probably know, actually.
No, I don't know.
A book. A very powerful book.
Okay, and what is the book?
I don't remember.
uh, and Alicia pipes up and goes, it's the book of ultimate evil, which
Oh, that thing.
LaFall knows about.
That
Yeah,
thing. That thing's destroyed.
yeah. Or
It's
at
I
no longer
least,
existing. It's no longer existing.
or at least that's
Yeah, I know that's, but that's what I'm telling these people. It's no longer
right.
existing.
And how'd you not get involved with this Kingdom of Nico anyway? Neither of you had anything to do with them last I saw you.
It's called large bags of gold. Uh, Jillian's like, I made in one day 5 times what my shop made in a year.
Well,
Ah, yes, well,
since
pretty good for someone who's supposed to be trapped in Avernus, where we left you last. How'd you manage that
Well,
then?
I am an elf. There, I do have magic, and I coerced somebody down there to help me out. It wasn't that hard. I was back out 2 days after you left.
Bloody hell.
okay, well, since the book is no longer here, you two can run along.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Elisa just smiled and goes, that may be part of it, but the second part is uh
Okay, well, before you deal with your second part, then I think we better go talk to the great white worm that had it and had it destroyed. Because
well,
you're gonna have to, since you said you want to kill everyone who's involved with it, let's go kill him first.
nah. Why would uh they're both like, what great white worm?
I could take you out and show you where he is, and you can speak to him, and then I can watch and laugh while he jumps you off for lunch. Or you can just turn around and walk back out the door you walked in and forget about it all.
For one thing, a boat trip back to the island. Uh, that'd take days.
No, it won't. And
Uh,
obviously, you know where it is, where it was, apparently. Or was that the DM saying
well,
that?
we've been tracking Kenna's little friend for months now.
Was that part of your assignment then?
What now?
Was that part of
I
your
did.
assignment to track her?
Well, our assignment was to find the book, any information on the book, where it was, who had it, and we found out that she was more than just your average low-level brewery worker. She had government connections, and like I said, anything having to do with Caltrinell, Nikos is going to have a problem with. So,
Well, I have nothing to do with them, either of them, so you have no problem with me. And so, like I said, you two can turn around and ignore the whole thing and understand the book is destroyed and gone. Or I could take you out and show you the great worm that destroyed it, and then I could sit there and watch and laugh as he gobbles you up for lunch, like he did the Naga. So, what's your answer? Option one, option two.
you're forgetting about option three.
No, there's no option three.
We kill both. We kill both of you and then walk away.
No, there's no option three. Because, like you said, your duty, and I just informed you that there's a great white worm that knows about the book, is to kill everyone involved with the book knowledge. And you don't know where the great white worm is. I'm the only one that does.
Right,
So
right.
you're going to have to deal with the great white worm first before you can think about killing me. And I'm not going to let you kill Kendra here because that's just straight to stupidity. I can't let you all do
Oh,
two against one. So your options
both
are
of
one.
us.
Your option is either option one or option two. There's no option three at all.
And as the book is gone, then you've really no more business here. I mean, you've got your answer. It's destroyed. Won't do anybody any good. It's gone. So you can just take that information back to whoever you need to take it back to now.
Well, we do need to do that.
And if you decide to stay here and try to do something, you're not going to get that done, unfortunately.
I'm going. I'm going to do this democratically. I'm going to roll to see what they do. decide to do. Actually, instead of me rolling uh, to see what they do, both of you give me a persuasion roll.
Okay. Persuasion. 23.
Okay.
17.
Mm. I will make uh, uh, ooh, okay. Um, they rolled absolutely horribly on their contested persuasion roll. Uh, so they're like, well, I guess we do have to go talk to the king and queen about this. Um, and if they want to take out these two at a later date, they can do it, or we can come back and do it. So, for now, we'll let you guys go.
No, we'll let you go.
Don't get too cocky. You can end up like the bartender back there.
And what do you mean by that?
Who do you think's been poisoning him the whole time?
You
What
two?
reason would you
Why?
have to, what reason would you have for doing that? He's not involved with anything, is he?
Oh, he didn't tell you?
No.
Your little handler friend, Alondra?
Yeah. What
Who
about
do you,
her?
who do you think is her boss?
The king and queen of Contrenel. That's what I was led to believe.
Well, because she didn't want to incriminate the bartender.
Ah. So does that mean the bartender's after the book for some reason?
The bartender is just there to gather information on various things because people talk to bartenders, so he's the perfect spy. Like, you know,
Well, perhaps we need to have a little chat with him then.
that is if he wakes up.
Oh, we'll get him awake.
Luigi says, I don't know. My elf friend here is a little overzealous when it comes to poisonous compounds. So, good luck with that.
Well, what'd you use?
I That's her business. I have
That's
no
what I'm
idea.
asking. I'm asking her. What'd she use? What'd you use?
I'm not telling you that.
Why? I can extract more information from him necessary if he doesn't die. So if you
He
tell me what you use, we can cure him, then we can extract more information.
he's been poisoned what, twice now? Uh he's gonna have a real rough time coming out of it, even if he does. Um there's a special plant at the edge of Half Cliff Swamp that I use the extract of. Um, and there's really not a known antidote for it.
Well, we'll see what the clerics have to say here.
Kenna knows as she turns to Kenna and goes, "You know Half Cliff Swamp pretty well, as I hear."
In the open lands, yes.
Yeah.
Not exactly an ideal vacation spot. I'd rather not go back.
Oh, hotel rooms are few and far between and really expensive. But uh, so basically, what is now going to happen is the two of us are going to leave, and the bartender's your problem. And the two of them turn around and walk out the back the way they came.
Well, I guess the first thing we really ought to do is get the bartender back to the cleric's temple then.
Yep. And since you know this flower substance, you're going to form.
You can turn the volume up for him. I'll be back.
Okay.
Since you know this, since you know this flower substance, apparently you can inform the cleric and find out what we need for curing them.
I don't actually know what flower she was talking about. I only know the area from which she got it. I don't
Well,
know
hopefully
what.
a cleric knows then.
Yes.
All right. So pick up the bartender and make our way down to the clerics.
Oh. As you go to pick up the bartender, there's a small note on the bar addressed to Kenna. It says, "You don't need to worry about Alondra anymore."
Don't need to worry. They didn't. They didn't kill her, did they?
They didn't, but by the time they leave town, they probably will.
Okay. Well, in that case, why don't you get the bartender to the cleric's temple? Tell them about the flower. Remember, it's near Half Cliff Swamp in the open lands. Hopefully that will be enough information for them. I'm going to go find Alondra and warn her. I mean, she's not an innocent in all this by any stretch, but I don't want her killed.
Okay. And I will try to meet up with you as quickly as possible.
All right, back here then.
Wouldn't it be easier if you met up at the cleric hospital when you're
Yes,
done?
going to do that.
Because you might need to bring Alondra there by the you
Right.
get there. Yeah. And a little geography note for you, LaFall, because Kendra knows this. The open lands and Half Cliff Swamp are on the southeastern edge of the kingdom you're currently in, of Gelborn. So they're really not all that far away.
Okay.
So you could fly there easily. I don't know about carrying Kenna, but you could fly there fairly easily. So LaFall heads off with the bartender who is still unconscious. And how do I want to do this? Because the one and only time that Kenna went to Alondra's place, it was dark and she was drunk. So give me a history roll to see if you remember how to get there.
14 total.
You think you can figure your way? Who knows? You might run into Jinx on the way. He's still wandering around out there. So LaFall, uh, are you flying over? I assume.
Yeah, it'd be the quickest way.
So you fly over and sit yourself down in front of the cleric hospital, and you carry the bartender in. Belinda's busy with like 4 other people. Yeah, the been a busy day at the cleric hospital for some reason.
Well, Melinda, you better get over here. Just been informed that this one could be possibly dying no matter what. But we need to take chance and try to save him.
Eh, it's the bartender again. What the hell? I thought I
Um,
fi-
well,
thought I thought I fixed him up the first time.
it's a second dose.
Yeah.
He was hit with a second dose, so
No.
it's flower. Tell her about the flower that's out in the swamp.
Yeah. Uh, like, that's gonna be a hard one.
Well, if you need the flower itself, I'll run out to the swamp and get you the flower so you can try to work an antidote. Just try to keep them alive because we need to extract information from them.
And the minute you say that, she looks at you sort of sideways, like, what? Because she had no idea. To her, he's just the local bartenders.
Apparently,
So,
he's a spy for such country who's at war with this country, and they were looking for a certain item that I had destroyed. And well, apparently, he knows a lot more information.
hmm,
So we need him to be able to answer questions and then die.
and well, I will attempt to help you with the first part. I'm not having anything to do with the second part.
That's fine. I've got other friends and acquaintances who can help me with the second part.
Leave it to him to get himself into something he can't handle.
Yep. And depending on how he handles the second part, the third part may not even have to happen.
Uh, I'll find a spot for him and start doing research while he's unconscious.
Okay. Do you want a sample of this flower extract?
Well, I probably need one eventually, but I need before that I need to figure out uh, if the antidote would actually come from the flower or not. It it might come from some other plant in the area. So
Okay.
I I need to do some research first. Um, come back. I'll probably know what I need by tomorrow, and we'll see if he survives the night. Because I'm not even sure if the healing things that I have will work on this. So we'll by morning we'll know a lot more than we do now.
Right.
So yeah, she's like, well, once I get him settled, I gotta get back to these other three. So I will expect to see you in the morning.
Maybe even sooner because we've got apparently a second party that might be having some issues.
Hmm. And so from there, we will cut over to you slowly making your way over to Alondra's place. Um, um, you get there, a knock on the door, and you don't hear an answer. So what do?
I'll try the door and see if it's unlocked.
Um, it's locked.
It's locked. Well, it is a matter of life and death. So, and I can afford to pay her for a door if I need to. So I'm going to take my great axe to the door.
Okay. Uh, give me an attack roll.
$23.
You swing at the door with all your strength, and the door just shatters. There's like shards of wood flying everywhere. But you walk into the living room and don't see anything. It doesn't look like the place has been messed up. Uh, you just don't see a laundrette
Well,
anywhere.
I'll call out her name, and I guess I'll check the other rooms as well. I mean, she's got to have a bedroom or a
Yeah.
kitchen area or something.
Give me an investigation check.
That wasn't great. 12.
You're searching through the house and it's oddly enough, it doesn't look like there's been food made recently. Um, it almost looks like somebody cleaned the place on purpose. Um,
Well, maybe she caught wind and got out of here while the gooding was good. I mean, that's the best case scenario.
um, you finally make it into her bedroom. And her bedroom is exact opposite condition to the rest of the house. It's an absolute mess. There's papers everywhere, clothing strewn everywhere. Uh, fact, give me another investigation check.
10.
Um, let me see about this. Um, give me a dex check.
A dex check. All right. Dex. 8. You
You
were doing
sl-
so well for me, Dice. I'm gonna have to change you up for another one now. Okay.
you you as you're looking at the bed, you actually slip and hit the floor. And you notice on the bottom of your boot there's something wet.
Would it by any chance happen to be blood?
As a matter of fact, it is.
Right, so while I'm on the floor, then I guess I will turn my head and look under her bed.
Give me an investigation roll.
Wow, my dice have it in for me all of a sudden. 8.
It's dark under her bed. The only way you're gonna find out if there's anything under there is to actually go under there.
I do have dark vision. Okay, well, I'm not going to go under there per se, but I will reach my arm under there and see if I can feel anything.
You reach your arm under there. You feel something that feels like an arm.
Alright then, so I guess I'll try to pull whoever's under there out.
You give me a strength check.
15.
You pull really hard. You, as a matter of fact, you pull harder than you need to, and you pull an arm out from under the bed.
Just an arm.
Just an arm.
Oh, that's wonderful. Is it a laundress?
It, if you're remembering the skin color properly, it seems like it.
Okay, well, we've gone this far. I guess I'll reach under again and see if there's any more bits under the bed.
So you're gonna reach under and try to grab something else and pull it out.
Yes, if there's
Uh,
anything else under there.
give me another strength check then.
So,
You grab onto something, but it's too heavy for you to pull out from your leverage point. You just don't have the shoulder strength to pull it out.
but does it feel like another body part? I mean, can I tell?
Yeah,
Sort of. It does.
it feels like something that would be about the size of a torso. Um, now you do have the option of standing up and moving the bed to see what's under it, but that's up to you.
No, I think I've got the information I need at this point. Uh, the arm does look like hers.
Yeah.
And I'm not really keen on seeing any more dead bits than I really need to. I'm assuming she's not alive with her arm is severed. She would have bled out rather quickly just from that.
And if she was alive and conscious, she'd be screaming, and you're not hearing anything.
Right, and I'm assuming that, if her arm's off, then her other limbs are probably not really attached either. So,
Too too bad it was a nice little house. If you're gonna stay in town, it's a nice little house, but that's what happens when you stick your nose in place.
well, I guess it's too late to warn her at this point, so I might as well just head back to the cleric's temple.
Okay. On your way there, you end up meeting LaFall about as he's coming back the other way. So, what do you tell him, if anything?
Well, first I'll ask to get the bartender all settled in at the hospital. Hospital then.
Yeah, he's there.
Good.
She's going to try to do everything she can and figure out if there's a cure and what we need for the cure.
I hope there is.
So I see you're alone.
Yeah. Looks like I was a bit late. Londra's dead.
Okay. Well, justice will come their way shortly then.
Yes. Well, hopefully they won't be back for us.
Well, let them come back for us. Justice will be done.
There's that, I suppose. I mean, not that I don't want to see both of them dead. Very much like that, actually. Those are the last two I expected to come after me, though.
So, how deep are you involved with this book thing?
Dragon's out of the bag now, I guess, huh?
Yep.
I was sent by the King and Queen of Contrenel to figure out what had happened to the Naga that was sent after you lot, and to retrieve the book. Obviously, I found out what happened to the Naga, and I found out the book was destroyed, and I told Alondra to tell them that I wanted out at this point, but I guess they haven't gotten that information yet, because she hasn't made it back. But, like I said, as far as I'm concerned, the book's gone. I'm out of it. I don't want to have anything to do with that lot anymore. Didn't mean to drag you into all this, though.
Hell, I just went to a place to enjoy a concert, apparently, that didn't happen. Got dragged into a upset island issue, resolved that issue, and now the issue is actually bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, what fall are you gonna tell Kenna about the ex-manager,
Oh, nah.
or at least half of the ex-manager? Yeah.
As far as I know, the manager was just a bystander of something else.
As far as you know at this point,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, a question for you,
Yeah.
Kenna. Do you know of anything else that might have been sent after the book besides that Naga? Something
No,
about my
not
size. Maybe a little bit shorter than me.
not that I know of. I was only sent to figure out what happened to the Naga because he never made it back. As far as I know, I'm the only other person that's been sent, aside
Okay.
aside from Alondra, who apparently wasn't even working for them to begin with. Which is news to me. I had no idea about the bartender's involvement in any of this whatsoever. But no, from Contranel, I wouldn't know.
Okay.
And as far as Nikos is concerned, other than the two that you just ran into, you have no idea what's going on over there. So, in fact, um, both of you give me a history roll.
Ah, 7.
6.
Not being from this area, you don't know anything about, all you know about the animosity between Nikos and Caltrinell is what Jillian and Alicia told you while you were talking to them. So,
Well, I guess it's part of the story. Hopefully, find out what's going on all around when we talk to the bartender if he survives.
Yes.
Find out what the hell is happening.
And that's another thing. What do we do about him?
Well, he's either going to answer our questions and be uncomfortable, or he's going to answer our questions and get bit the hell out of and be very uncomfortable to answer our questions and give us correct answers.
Works for me.
you're assuming he'll survive all of this. Um, are you guys are still on your way back to the inn, supposedly?
Yep.
Um,
Oh, there's our baddie.
so, and by the way, you feel the wind pick up, but it's just in one place, almost like it's directly over your head.
Look up.
You, uh, well, if Kendra looks up, she would need an investigation check.
All right.
You, LaFall, know the shapes you're looking at almost immediately.
Okay.
So, what was your investigation roll?
Let me see. I haven't rolled it yet. Investigation. Investigation. 25.
Um, you're actually you're actually familiar with a couple of the shapes you're seeing yourself. You see five, what looks like five winged creatures above you. Um, two of them you both know as winged kobolds. Um, LaFall, you know two of the others, even though it's dark, they look like wyvern shaped creatures. Eh, and the last creature is flying so high up, all you see is a shadow. And it's a quite large one. This group, however, makes no attempt to land. They just keep going. And
Okay.
within a minute or two, the wind is back to normal.
Which direction were they headed?
Um, Southeast, actually. Which, um, LaFall, give me a history check with advantage.
Okay, I rolled a 15. I got a history for a +2, so whatever the advantage will be added.
You look at the direction they're heading, and you suddenly remember that that's the direction that Half Cliff Swamp and the open lands are in. Which you may have to go there depending on what happens when you talk to Belinda in the morning. But they were just headed in that general direction.
Oh, great.
You don't actually know where they were going. Uh, do you tell Kenna this little piece of information?
They're heading down to the swamp, at
Oh,
least that direction.
And now Kenna give me a history check now.
okay. 11.
Well, you've been to those places. You vaguely recall a curse, or shall we say prophecy, that you encountered the last time you were there.
Yes, I do vaguely recall that.
So, and as you were running out of the place, you remembered seeing kobolds wandering around working on something. So, but that's been quite a while. So,
Right.
yeah, you'd almost completely forgotten about that.
Yeah. And rather a lot has happened since then, so yeah.
Yeah. So, could be something completely different, but you know, always good to remember. So, you guys walk into the inn, and the backup waitress is standing there. She's going, "What the hell's going on? Where's the bartender?"
It has
He's
the medics of the
at the
clerics.
hospital, yes.
Again.
Yep.
Yes.
So, what are we gonna do without a bartender tonight? It's like,
I guess you're the bartender.
I was just gonna say, how are your bad bartending skills then? Or is there another waitress who knows more about it
mm,
that you can call in?
mm, mm. I guess I can do both, but I'm definitely gonna have to talk to him about a raise when he gets back.
Yeah, I'd
If he
recommend
gets
that.
back.
Mm. And oddly enough, hardly for the rest of the night, hardly anybody shows up. Uh, and this is through dinner rush. And dinner rush is usually full in this place.
They must have all gotten scared off by what happened earlier.
And, and three or four of the regulars show up, but that's about all. And so what do you guys do for the rest of the night?
Nothing much.
Well, might as well have a few tankards of ale.
The way you sit at the bar and the waitress periodically comes over and fills your tankard there. There's no there's nobody really to talk to because nobody showed up tonight. I was just checking to see if it was Friday or not. See whether you missed the gig tonight or not.
Well, I'm right here. Play.
No, but it's not. It's Tuesday. I guess I guess your instrument is upstairs in your room.
Yeah.
You really had to run up and get it. um, so, with Kenna at the bar, what is LaFall doing?
Um, Nothing much really. Just sitting back, enjoying the cool night air. Uh, just
Are you drinking or?
no, not really.
Okay. It's about by the time this has happened, it's between 10 and 11 o'clock. Um, can I have you what number of tankard are you on at this point?
Let's see. I'm just finishing up my third, and I'm going to
Okay.
call the waitress slash bartender over for another refill.
Give me a dex check to see if you're stable on the bar stool here.
All right, let's see. I haven't tried this dice yet. Let's see if this will be a nice one. Like seriously, one of them started out great, and then it was like decided it hated me all of a sudden. I don't know what the deal is. But nope, this dice hates me. 6.
The first dice, it was peer pressure from all the others. They're like, you're not supposed to be rolling that well. Um, as you reach for your fourth tankard, you stumble and lose your balance and are barely able to catch yourself before you hit the ground. Um, the waitress rushes over to help you up. Um, as this is going on, though, you see Belinda burst into the door of the bar, of the tavern. She walks over to LaFall and says, "You're the person that brought the bartender in, correct?
Yep.
He's having serious convulsion problems.
Okay.
Uh, like I was telling you earlier, I don't know if he's going to make the night. I can drug him. That'll probably calm him down. I can keep him unconscious long enough for you two to go try and find an antidote. But that's about the best I can do."
Well, that's all we can ask you to do is try.
Well,
What
I
do you need for the
just,
antidote?
um, it's and she pulled a slip of parchment out of her pocket. It's this, and it looks like if you've ever seen an aloe vera plant, it looks like a small cactus.
Right.
But she says, from the picture in the book that I have, it's purple with a vertical pink stripe on it. I've never seen the thing myself, and the person who wrote the book claims that it'll work, but I've never heard of anybody ever using it because I've never heard of anybody ever coming back with one.
Okay. So where do we need to go?
Oh, it's the only known reference of it in the open lands. And as I
Okay.
recall, and Kenna is fairly drunk, but she hears reference to going into the open lands again, and what does she do?
Oh, I've been there. Not a
Fa-
great place. Actually, a lot of people don't even know how we made it back out, to be honest. But not a lot of
fa-
people do, from what I've heard.
Are you kidding? Your little group that went in is the only ones that have ever made it out.
Right? Yeah, my mum almost died, so there's that.
And in fact, you haven't heard of anybody else making it back since then. So,
I mean, I did make a lot of money, but
yeah.
not sure it was entirely worth it. Not going tonight, I can tell you that. Don't think I'm quite up to that tonight.
Well, and your next thought is, oh boy, tomorrow's going to be fun.
Yeah, so might as well make tonight worth it, and I'll grab my fourth tanker that's there and just like slam it.
Okay.
And as she falls backwards, catch.
Gi- give give me a dex check. Well, actually, hold on. Give me a constitution check with disadvantage first.
Oh, that sounds fun. Okay. What is my con? Okay. 9.
Ah, you slam the fourth one and basically slump. Now, now give me a dex check with disadvantage.
13.
You are barely able in a slumped over position to stay on your bar stool. Uh, and it's mainly because LaFall walked up behind you. But Kenna is seriously done for the night. She's like, uh,
Yeah. Kind of look at the fall. I'm like, I think I'm a little bit drunk.
just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little.
Mm, tipsy.
LaFall, you don't understand why other races do this because dragons don't get drunk. So it's sort of beyond you why they would want to do that. But
Well, put this one to bed.
no, because a dragon could drink everything in this bar and probably not have an effect. So, yeah. So are you gonna carry her up to her room?
Yeah, I'll put this one to bed.
Okay. No. You
Then I go
open.
find myself a nice spot outside.
Well, the inn is pretty much surrounded by trees, so um, you can easily curl up by one of the larger trees and be fine.
Yep.
Now, when you put Ken, when you took Ken up to her room, did you just drop her on the bed, or what did you do?
Yeah, I just put her on the bed.
Okay. Um.
So if she's got anything prickly, pokey, whatever.
Well, she's wearing her weapons and her armor, but
I'm not.
sleeping with your weapons is a bit dangerous. Roll over the wrong way, and you're like, but um, but you're so drunk you wouldn't even notice that. Um, LaFall, as you're curling up by one of the larger trees outside, Give me a perception check.
Only a 4.
For, for a fleeting second, out of the corner of one of your eyes, you thought you saw a small black shape wandering on the road. But he's wandering back and forth like he doesn't know where he wants to go. But you just saw that for half a second out of the corner of your eye, and you're like, I must be tired. So the two of you, well, fall you fall asleep naturally. Kenna just passes out. And the next thing either one of you remembers the sun being in your eyes.
Okay.
It is actually around 8 in the morning.
Well, get up, get breakfast real quick.
You walk into the inn, into the tavern portion of the inn, and the waitress from last night is still there. And there is a small red-headed gnome girl behind the bar that you haven't seen before.
Okay.
Um,
Replacement bartender.
yep. The way I'm assuming you find a table.
Actually, no. First thing first, I go get Kendra. Whether she wants to come down or not, she's coming down.
So you go upstairs, knock on Kenna's door, and how does Kenna respond to this?
Bloody hell, what is it? Who's there?
Time for breakfast. Get up.
I don't want breakfast.
Bang, 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 bang,
Oh,
bang.
stop it! Stop it!
Bang, bang, bang,
Oh,
bang,
okay,
bang,
I'm
bang, bang.
coming! Stop it! Bloody head! So I'll get up, I'll go open the door.
Actually, as you're making your way to the door, you grab the door handle, you open the door, give me a constitution check with disadvantage.
14.
Yeah. Because when you got up, you felt like you were going to throw up, but you were actually able to keep yourself from doing that on the way to the door. So,
Alright, I'm up. Are you happy?
Let's go.
Oh,
Breakfast, and then we got to go to the open land.
Yeah, that ought to be great. Right. So we'll follow her down to the tavern.
By this time, it's fairly full because it is 8 in the morning. So, but you are able to find a table in the back in the corner. The waitress comes over and says, "How are the two of you this morning?"
Oh, I'm just peachy.
I just sort of look at her. I think I drank a bit much last night.
She says, "I know you did. I was the pouring them for you."
So breakfast time. Eggs, bacon, fruits, steak.
She says, "I can do that." What is Kenna's reaction as he's reading off the items on the menu?
I'm trying to hold it together. Like, oh, God.
The waitress turned her head and she goes, "You want some coffee while you're waiting?"
Yes, please.
Hmm. She turns back to LaFall and goes, "I've got all that written down. Is there anything else you need?"
Just water. Thank you.
Okay. No. So she goes off, and in a few minutes later, she comes back with your water and Kenna's uh, tankard of coffee. And as she sets the tankard down, she's like, "You ready to order breakfast?"
Oh, maybe I'll have an egg. I ought to be all right with that, I think.
Mm, okay. Mm. She heads back to the kitchen.
So, Kendra, how long would you say for us to get to the open lands from here?
From here, don't know, maybe 2.5 hours?
Longer than that.
Longer, huh? I haven't
Actually,
gone from here before, so.
about a day and a half.
Oh, right. About day and a half, I guess. 2 days. If we run into anything on the way.
Okay, so we need supplies.
Yeah. Guess we could hit the open market.
Yep. We're gonna have to get some horses for these sleepyheads over here who don't want to seem to wake up.
Mm. Yeah, you have to decide how the group is going to travel from here to there. As LaFall and Jinx are the only two that can get frequent flyer miles. So,
Can we take a quick break here?
Yeah, actually, it's a good time to do that. So we'll take 20-minute break and be back exactly at uh, the top of the hour, which is 9 o'clock our time and what 11 your time. Will fall.
Yeah.
Is 20 minutes 11 your time, or
Yes.
how tired are you getting?
Um, we could probably get into the trip.
Okay. I just wondered whether you were starting to fade on me or not.
No, but I have to get up at 5:30 in the morning, so
Oh,
5:30.
Oh, fun.
Yep.
Tomorrow's Sunday.
Yeah.
You work at 5 a.m. on Sunday? Oh, boy.
No, I'm going out fishing.
Oh, yeah, you said you were a fishing person.
Yep.
It's the best time to do it. Oddly enough, it's why I never did it. So we will see you guys back around the top of the hour, and we'll start the journey to the open lands.
okay. Oh boy. Okay.
No. So, with all, you're the only dragon I know that has an aversion to combat.
No, it's been my life goal, as far as the dragon goes, not to avoid combat, but to decel it as much as possible. I will fight if I have to. Besides, a gold dragon and the silver dragons, they didn't fight unless they absolutely had to.
That that is actually true. Those two colors would rather live peaceably and not have to fight anything, actually.
Hmm. But push comes to shove, they will fight.
But I would think your human half would be more akin to wanting to fight than your dragon half does.
Yeah, that's why I gave them two options. Option one, they can leave peacefully and report back. Or option two, they die.
Well, or at least we see how combat goes. But in fact, most dragon characters I've seen are eager to fight. Because they're like, I'm a dragon, nothing can beat me. Yeah.
Right.
So, mm, hopefully, for the second part of this, your dice roll better than they have been.
I hope so. I mean, they like gave me a false sense of security at first.
Well, well, the thing is, I haven't been rolling any better than you have all night. I literally made four separate rolls with advantage to see if Alondra was still alive.
I guess you didn't. I guess you failed all those rolls then, huh?
Out, out of out of those four rolls, the highest number I got was a 7. I'm like, I'm like, I'm sitting here wanting her to still be alive, so I'm continuing to make rolls. And, after the fourth one, I'm like,
She's dead.
it's just not working. She's just dead. There's nothing I can do. Yeah. But me not rolling well doesn't necessarily bode well for you guys either.
Right.
No.
It went our way with the whole contested persuasion thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 5 and a 7 on that. Yeah. I've been rolling like crap all night. Sometimes even the DM has off nights. Okay. Everybody got their character and dice and drink handy.
Yep.
Uh,
Mhm.
we'll jump back into this then. Hello and welcome back to episode 40 of Fallen Dragons. Right before break, our our partial party here uh, had breakfast and decided to get supplies for the trip. The other three, the other three of your party are they're still in bed. They decided that nothing on the planet was gonna get them up today.
Oh, you couldn't have let me sleep as well.
No, because we got to get going. I'm going to drag them out of the bed. We're going to put them in. We're going to have to get a wagon, put them in it. They can sleep on top of each other, bump around all I care for. But we got to get going.
Kenna is the only one in the group that actually has any clue where you're going. So if you don't let her sleep, you'd all been wandering around in the wilderness trying to find this place.
Oh, that might be better off, actually. We never did find it. I'm not kidding. It's not a very nice place.
Nope. Why do you think you got 30,000 gold for surviving? Boy.
And suddenly I remember the way the swamp smelled, and I'm like, oh, bloody hell. That's where I'm going. Oh, God.
And given your current condition, that smell is,
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Like, oh God, no.
yeah.
So next thing we do is set off to get supplies, a wagon, a couple of horses.
Yeah, we need to head to the open market.
Mm, and probably the blacksmith would be the best place to
Right.
get the wagon and the horses, but the market would have all your other supplies.
Yep.
So, should we split up then? Make it quicker?
But it'd be easier if we just had the wagon with us as well.
Well, that's true. So, should we head to the blacksmith first then?
Yep.
All right, we can do that.
That way you can pile supplies on top of the other three party members
Right.
who are on who are not waking up at the moment. It's fairly easy to find the blacksmith because this is a small village and all you gotta do is look for the constant blue flume of black smoke in the air. So it only takes you a few minutes. It's a surprisingly small hut with an opening in the ceiling, and there's a sign, a hand drawn sign out front that says blacksmith on it.
Okay.
So there's no real door because since it's a small hut, it needs as much ventilation as it can get so it doesn't burst into flames.
Great.
Um, so you two walk in the door and you see this very large, like close to 8 foot tall lizard with his back to you. Or at least you think it's a lizard because all you can see is scales.
Okay.
So, who's going to do the talking in this group?
I think Lafal would better do the talking.
Go up to him and tap him.
He spins around fairly quickly with what you see, what you guess to be a 10-pound sledgehammer in one hand. He's he's like, "Oh, I didn't hear you come in. Uh, I'm Bardis. What can I do for you?"
We need a good sizable wagon and a couple horses.
I can do that. You have to come. You have to come out back with me, but
Okay.
uh, is this for rent or purchase?
Um, let's say rent for now, and if we have to purchase due to Unforeseen circumstances, we'll settle that when we get back.
Okay.
Well, although we're heading into the open land, so if we rent, chances are, and I hate to say this, I really do, but the chances are pretty good that we may not make it back. So perhaps it would be more prudent to just purchase it outright.
Bartis looks at both of you and goes, "Why in the world do you want to go there?"
We need a purple flower with a white stripe going through it.
Mm, not into gardening, so I wouldn't know anything about that. Uh, sounds tasty, though. Uh, if you want to purchase a wagon and two horses, uh, let's see. I can do that for 30 gold. And it'll be the horses have been fed already this morning, but I would advise you to get some food for them to go with you.
Right.
Yeah. So, which one of you has the money to pay the man?
I've got 30 gold on me, so I'll pay for it.
Okay. He's like, thank you for the business. If you actually are going to the open lands, I hope you make it back.
I do too.
Why are you all so sounding down about this place?
I've
We'll
been
make it
there,
back.
remember?
We'll make it back, no problem.
Yeah, I barely did last time.
It'd be no problem. You didn't have
Appa-
a dragon, I'm assuming, last time.
Uh, Kenna's like, apparently LaFall doesn't know the history of the place. Are you going? Are you going to explain to him that you're the only person that's ever made it out of this place?
Well, me and my little group, yeah,
Yeah,
I'll tell her that.
which I do believe there was three of us, and that
Right.
was about it. Yeah. Um, he's like, Bart is, you know, waits for you to pick out your horses in your wagon. He's got half a dozen horses standing there, and he's got a smaller wagon and a larger one.
Well, I'm going to assume for at least 2 days travel and 2 days travel back, at least probably 3 days of travel in there searching. So we probably need the bigger wagon.
Yes. Okay, that's fine. Uh,
And we'll have supplies for the horses and five people total. So we need to make sure the horses are strong enough to be able to pull all that weight.
He goes over the fence and points to a large brown and looks like a draft horse, and the also the white one standing next to him. Um, if you if they're gonna be pulling a wagon, those two are probably your best choices.
Okay. Are they a good team? They work well together?
They haven't had a problem with each other as of yet.
Okay.
As long as you feed them so they don't have a problem with you.
Well, I doubt they'll have a problem with me, period. Well, other than maybe being scared of me, but
Well, and you're half dragon, and another member of our party's a dragonborn. You think they'll be strong enough to pull all that, or will the two dragonfolk not be able to ride in the wagon?
the Dragonborn can ride in a wagon. She ain't that heavy. And most of the time, I can walk and keep up with
That's
with the
true.
horses.
Yeah.
Well, and you can fly as well if you need to get
Yep.
somewhere quickly.
All right, so we'll take it.
So he helps you hitch the two horses to the wagon and says, "There you go. Uh,
Okay.
I hope your journey goes well." And with that, he turns around and walks back inside.
Take the reins of both horses. Look them in the face. Now we're not going to have any problems, are we?
They both smile at you.
So it looks like horses don't have that fear thing you tend to exude.
Oh, I'm sure that they will if I was.
Ah, yes. Well, best not do that then. We don't want them spooking.
Yep.
So, so who's riding and who's driving?
I'm crawling into the back of the wagon and lying down.
No, I'm going to lift her up, put her in the driver's seat.
Uh, really? I mean, all right, I've driven a wagon before. It's not like I don't know how, but I'm really not feeling very well.
Well, that's your fault.
Yeah, you're right.
It does. It doesn't lessen the fact that with every bump you hit, you feel like your stomach's going to fall out. But it's a little village. They don't spend a lot on road repair here, so yeah.
So I guess the first thing that we'll do is we'll load up supplies.
Right, we need stuff for the horses as well as us.
Yep.
So I'm assuming we can get that at the open market and all as well.
Yep.
And besides, you couldn't have curled up in the back. There are already three of your party members back there.
Well, I could have snuggled up with them, pushed them, elbowed them over. You know. Actually, there's only two others. The bat's still missing, isn't he? See?
No,
Found our way back.
Jinx hasn't found his way back yet.
So yeah, there's only two of them back there then. I could have squeezed in.
Cori and Nala are back there. Are you going to attempt to find Jinx before you leave town,
Yep.
or
Yes, we'll find Jinx.
so? Um, you guys head to the open market. Um, there's a note on a post at the beginning of the market as you enter. They have sort of a bulletin board sort of thing. It's really just a post that people nail stuff to. Um, and there's a notice from the mayor about uh, something about an uptick in um, attacks on people while they walk around the open market. Apparently, there's a couple of pirate wannabe types that are going around mugging people in the open market. They're really just a couple of uh, teenagers that are trying to get themselves accepted into the local thieves guild, and they think going around mugging people will do that. But apparently the mayor's had several complaints, so he put a notice up.
Okay.
Um, being a small village, what the open market is here is a collection of about, you know, half a dozen stalls selling various things. Um, it's fairly practical stuff because that's what people need here. And the two stalls on the end are where all the actual food is.
Right.
The other stuff is like blankets and, you know, stuff you would use around your house, plates and bowls and stuff. Um,
Okay. Well, we need blankets. We need sleeping pads. A couple barrels of water. Food.
Grain for the horses.
Yep.
um, you can find all of these things. Um, and by the time you're done collecting stuff, You've spent about 50 gold for a week's worth of supplies.
Okay.
You've had to fit them in and around the two party members that are in the back of the wagon. But it seems to all fit. The only
Fine.
problem, what?
I said, okay.
The only problem is, uh, when Nala and Korai wake up, they're gonna have a tough time getting out of the wagon. Uh, that's if they even realize where they are. Uh, because there are barrels of stuff in the way. And you head out of the market. Um, you head down the one road in the village that's basically the far end of this road is the wooden gates to the entrance of the village. What do you guys want to do, if anything, before you head out of the village?
Well, we gotta find Jinx, so
Jinx, yeah. Who knows what she's gone off to?
Uh, so, if you are actively looking for him, um, last time he was sighted by anyone was when he escorted Kenna to Alandra's door. When she went in and he wandered off, he hasn't been seen since. So where do you want to start looking for him?
um,
Probably the stretch of road between Alondra's place and the inn.
yep.
Um, okay, both of you give me investigation checks then.
Nat 20.
7.
Oddly enough, in the backyard of the house that Alondra lived in, there's a large tree. And you see this, or at least Kenna sees this small black form that looks like it's up against the tree in Alondra's backyard.
I'll tell the following. I think that's Jinx over there, isn't it?
Take a look and go walk over. Find out.
I'll pop down from the um, cart and I'll go over and take a look.
So you walk up on this. The closer you get, the more it looks like Jinx, because you can see his armor and all his leather and all that.
Right?
So what do you do?
I guess I'll call it, hey, Jinx, it's time to go. What you doing here anyway?
No response.
Yeah, so I'll kind of poke at her.
Jinx falls over.
I'll look back to the phone and be like, looks like just like the others won't wake up, so I'm gonna pick her up and carry her to the wagon.
Well, they're asleep. The others are asleep. Jinx is unconscious.
No.
You pick him up. Whichever one of you picks him up, he just goes limp. He's alive, but he's unconscious. So,
Are there any visible wounds or injuries or anything on
give me an investigation check.
her? 9.
There doesn't seem to be any, like, tears or cuts in his leather armor, but you don't know about internal problems.
Delays. Okay.
Well, what way to take Jinx to the clinic, the hospital before we head out, just to see if
I
there's
guess we,
anything.
yeah, I guess we should. So we will take him to the clinic.
You park the horses in the wagon in the parking lot of the, or at least what passes is the parking lot for the clinic. And you carry Jinx inside. And when you walk in, you see Belinda actually sitting at her desk, apparently having lunch. She looks up at you and goes, LaFall, if you come in here any more often, I'm going to have to charge rent.
I just bring you patients. That's all.
Yeah.
It's not my
And
fault they happen to land in my lap, or they get picked up in my lap.
So she's like, so what if you brought me this time?
Just need to check, see if this one is fine. We're getting ready to go to the open lands. We found our missing companion. Doesn't seem any responsiveness from him whatsoever.
Okay. Lay him on that bed over there.
Okay.
Mm. She puts down her dagger, puts down her dagger, and moves her bowl to the side. And like, I guess I'll finish that later. Walks over. Um, now, rubbed her hands basically all over him and does a medicine check and sort of scrunches up her nose a bit and goes, "Where did you find him?"
In a
Leaning
big
against it.
tree in the backyard of Elijah's place.
Uh, from what I can feel, he's been there for a while.
Yeah, it's been a few days since we've seen him.
Hmm. His his joints are stiff, and this had to be a spell of some sort. He might have, quote, been at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Okay.
I'm wondering to myself if he'd had a bit of a run-in with Elijah and Jillian.
And uh, I can cast Dispel Magic and see if that does anything.
Okay, we just need him in somewhat traveling conditions so we can go find your plant for you.
Well, well uh, even if I do cast Dispel Magic, he's not going to be a happy camper for a while.
Well, I mean, if it came to it, I guess you could leave him here and you could look after him while we're gone. If you've got a
Well,
spare bed.
um, I could. He's gonna wonder why you guys went off without him. But so,
I guess it depends on what kind of shape you can get him in.
well, what I can do is, if it is a spell, I can get rid of the magic, and then that nice hallucinogenic painkiller that he took the first time he was here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can fill him up on that, and he won't know where he is or who he is for a while.
Well, we don't want him totally out of commission, though.
Well,
And we don't want him to be thinking he's a superhero when he's not.
well,
I don't know,
it,
might be worth a few good songs to write about.
it'll wear off after a while. You might have to tie him down in the wagon, though.
That's simple enough.
That
Yeah.
could be done, yes.
So she rubs her hands together, closes her eyes, and you see this gold light gold light building up between her hands. And she waves her hands over Jink's body, and you actually see a grayish purple aura appear over his body for a minute or so and then disappear. And just at that point, you hear the most high pitched, pitiful sounding screech come out of Jinx as because as the magic goes away, the pain he's in actually starts to register because if he even attempts to move an arm or a leg, they won't. And so Belinda's like, oh, well, the dispel magic seems to work. It's time to drug him up so he won't be in any pain for a while.
Yes.
Okay.
And so he doesn't keep making that god awful noise.
Yeah, just the kind of noise Kenna needed to hear right now. And she goes over and gets the jar with the white, uh, looks almost like marshmallow fluff type stuff. And shoves a rather large spoon of it into Jinx's mouth and pours a little water in afterwards and goes, that should keep him out of it for a day or two.
Okay.
He's small, it doesn't take too much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
And hopefully you can keep our bartender alive for another week or roughly.
No, I'm doing the best I can. Um, Hopefully you can get me that antidote fairly soon.
We'll do our best.
I'll see you when you get back.
Okay.
If you make it back.
What is with this if? We're making it back.
Uh,
A dragon has never failed to do what it wants to do. I'm making it back.
you've never gone to this place before. Uh, and
It can't be any worse than the upper north or the deep south.
You ever seen carnivorous snow?
Um, Never seen snow alive, but I have seen it just freeze a person instantly.
Yes, well, the snow in the open lands will eat you, just so you know.
And while you guys are chatting over the, Belinda goes back to eating her lunch.
Yeah, we'll take Jinx and chat our way out,
Yeah.
and then secure Jinx into the uh, wagon.
I'm assuming you guys bought lots of rope.
Well, you never know when you need it, so yes.
Right. So you you can tie him down. Basically, you can squeeze him in right between Korai and Nala, but you have to move a barrel around to do it. But that also means you've tied Korai and Nala down too. They are now all three tied to the wagon.
Safest
Yeah.
place for him right now. When they finally decide to wake up, we'll untie them as they wake up, one by one.
So you guys have all your supplies. You've got the other three of your party members. Uh, do you head out of the village, or is there something else you want to do first?
Guess we ought to just head out at this point.
Yeah, at this point.
Okay. And I think that's where I'm going to call it. We'll start next time with you guys actually starting your journey, and we'll see what happens to you along the way.
Oh, real quick note.
Yeah.
One mark. Punishment for the drow and the other girl, whatever their names were, for putting a spell on Jinx. I write that down in the note.
Okay.
Yeah, because we probably will be running into them again, would be my guess.
So let me get this straight. You don't care what they did to the bartender, but
Well,
yeah,
the bartender was into some shit that we didn't know about, so yeah,
right.
he's kind of not on our good list either right now.
Okay.
Well, see, yeah, that makes sense. But the bartender, because I did ask him, and he asked us to find out who's poisoning him. We found out. He didn't ask us to do anything about it. He just said find out.
Right.
So we found out who's poisoning him, and then we found
Found
out
out
that
the
he might be into something else. So we have to verify what if he's into something else first before we can do anything else.
yeah.
And if this is a conflict of
Right.
rival countries, I mean, yeah, poisoning is evil, but it's a conflict of countries and they do what they have to do. So, in my eyes, I don't really have to enforce punishment on them, but I have to enforce punishment on them for hurting a friend who had nothing to do with it.
True.
He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Granted, he might have ran his mouth about knowing about the book. No, he wouldn't have known about the book because I never told him about the book.
Although it does make you wonder, why did he hang around in Alondra's backyard instead of coming back to the tavern.
I don't know.
But
Maybe he just wound up back there after wandering around where he was.
maybe he was waiting for, well, if he was waiting for Kinder to come out, well, he may have been unconscious by then. So, um, but so did you guys have fun?
Yep.
You have an enormous capacity for avoiding combat.
That was
No,
part of the fun.
no. I have an enormous capacity for converting combat to a alternative conflict that suits a very interesting output.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure somewhere along the way between now and the entry into the open lands, you will encounter something that,
It's gonna force my hand, yeah, I know.
yeah,
Yeah, Mike likes those random encounter rolls.
because there are also fun things that come out of the swamp too. So, in fact, one of Melody's early characters almost died just by breathing in what comes out of the swamp. So, but that, that is for history roles that will be done later for people who've been there before. Um, so, for those of you who see this once I get it up on our channel, I hope you enjoy it. Um, Next week we would have normally done vampire, but since the 4th of July holiday is coming up, we're gonna do my Call of Cthulhu for the holidays, which I always do. Uh, for 4th of July, it turns out that Uncle Sam is actually an Elder Cthulhu monster, and nobody ever knew about it. So, so be watching for that. I'll try and get that up on the channel as soon after the 8th as I can. Um, Follow us on all of our social media. Uh, Talk to us on Discord and leave comments on the videos on YouTube because we'd like to get to know you and build a community and get bunches of subscribers. And I know from watching other channels that you guys are as devious and twisted as I am, so I can always use more ideas. So, uh, check the link in the description for Robin's books because it's always there. And I think that's about. Oh, you can also listen to our podcast if you're more the podcast type. And if you go to the profile page, you can support the podcast. Patreon and merch are still in process. I'll announce it when they get up and going. I think that's all I have for now. So,
See you next time.
so I will say goodnight at this point and be watching for this video and Call of Cthulhu sometime next week. So, good night.
Night.